The women in Canada need you desperately. People who say you are there for human rights, here in Canada, we need you desperately. Please help us. And as far as Canadian goes, Canadian people from coast to coast, I'm addressing it to you. You know, when you go to court, there is something called case law. You have to find a case that is similar to yours. And then you have to highlight that area, that where is there is the similarity between your case and that case. And that side, your side won. And you say, Your Honor, this case was heard in 2003 in Court of Appeal, and my side won. This case was heard in 2007 in Supreme Court of Canada, my side won. Therefore, I should win. Well, now I'm going to present a case law for the whole world, my case law. I don't need to make a copy of a research and make a copy of a case that was heard in a superior court, Supreme Court, or Court of Appeal. I'm going to give you a case law that the whole world know this story. This story is about Iraq. Iraq was a very rich country. Iraq was living a happy life. Iraqis live a good life. They had their petrol business was very good, booming. However, the government got greedy, went after Kuwaiti people. And they colonized Kuwait. And they start ripping off Kuwait. Bully. They give the lousy job for the Kuwaitis, the good job for the Iraqis. They take over. But the Kuwaiti people are very smart people. They never took the law into their own hand. They just put their head down and they pray to God Almighty for justice. They didn't take the law into their own hand. If I want to skip this for a minute and go out, Palestinians, you've been doing suicide bombing for decades before Kuwaiti problem come. And you are doing the same thing after Kuwaiti problem was done over with. Is not working. Take my advice. Try God for a change. You will be amazed at his results. See, Kuwaiti people, they did exactly that. They pray to God. They never, not one Kuwaiti committed a suicide bombing. They never did that. They just prayed to God. And God sent the whole world after Iraq. When the bomb was raining in Iraq, when all this bomb was raining in Iraq, when the bomb is blowing up in the backyard of somebody's house, I don't care if those people are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, or even atheist, the one who don't believe in God. Trust me, this is human nature. The one who don't believe in God, he become a believer at that time. He is going to pray to God to stop that bombing. And that's what every Iraqis did when that bomb was raining for 24 hours a day, for days, for weeks. And when God finally stopped this bombing, Iraq came out of Kuwait. Kuwait was independent. And everybody went home. A handful of people, of Iraqi people, they went out to Baghdad in the city and they started chanting, Saddam, 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 Saddam. Like Saddam is the one who stopped that bombing. And they was praising Saddam. God is a merciful God. Trust me, God is a very merciful God, but his punishment is severe. God's punishment is severe. He see, the rest of the Iraqi people, when they see this, they should have stopped those people. Those, compared to the whole Iraq, those people who went chanting Saddam, Saddam, was President Saddam in Baghdad, they, compared to the whole Iraq, is a handful of people. It's very small. But the rest of the Iraqis was watching, and they didn't stop them. They didn't care. And God is a Old Testament, New Testament, Quran, every God's message says that God is a jealous God. You beg him, you ask him for justice, and he give you his top, he answer your prayer, and instead of giving him praise, you're going to give the credit to a human, then God will get angry. And he did get angry. He sent one man named Bush from America. Bush went in there and destroyed completely Iraq. Then the Iraqi people at that point, because they didn't do nothing when Bush went there and he destroyed Iraq, and God put Saddam in a rat hole. God put Saddam in a rat hole, and he saw the whole world. The whole world saw Saddam come out of that rat hole. He didn't even open one gunshot. And today, Saddam is dead. Today, Bush is no longer the president of the United States. But today, when Iraqis, decades after this, when Iraqis pray in their prayer place, bomb is exploded for years. Saddam has been dead, Bush is not there, but the problem of Iraq continue. This is the punishment of God. God's punishment is severe. Well, I'm telling you, Canadians, this is my case law for you. You see, this country is a beautiful country, Canada. Right now, medical is free. Your kid gets sick, you get sick, you can go get medical free. You can go to grocery shopping, you have freedom to do anything you want to do. You live in a happy life. That's how the Iraqi people was living. But I tell you this, now if you didn't know, now you know. For those of you who didn't know what your government is doing, now you do. It's been raping kids, killing babies. And their father and their mother and their aunties, uncle, grandparents, cousins, brothers, sisters, they love him. And they praying for justice from God. Well, God is about to bring his justice. And trust me, the same like Kuwaiti people, none of these parents committed any suicide bombing. They didn't take the law into their own hand. They went to God. They appealed their case to God. They asked justice from God. And God is about to bring his justice. But he wants you to know first. Well, I am now passing this message to you. Trust me, I'm not an educated man. I couldn't have done what I did if my life was depending on it. To sit down, study family law, civil law, criminal law, and take them all the way to Supreme Court of Canada, even though for no avail. Well, even though I wasn't getting justice, this is what has been going on. Now the whole world is going to know, God willing. And when God bring, I tell you, if you don't do something about this now, God is going to bring his wrath in Canada. When God's punishment come to Canada, unless you Canadians stop this government, this punishment is coming. Trust me. Once his punishment come in Canada, Iraq gonna look like heaven compared to what's gonna happen to Canada, because what Canadian government is killing innocent children, raping innocent children, abusing innocent children, their family, because they don't have money to hire a $500 lawyer, they suffer. They lose their babies. I am an example here. They never charge me with everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a criminal court in any country. But it's gotta be some kind of charge against that person or allegation, something. Without nothing, the only thing they have that the mother of my child accused me of beating her up from September to November. How can I beat somebody for 3 months? And then she was in a hospital in October 3 times. I mean, for the children in society to corrupt doctors, judges, all the way to Supreme Court of Canada to cover this up, I believe my daughter was raped. And that is the only thing that I can think about. Why would they go to this length to incriminate judges, lawyers, doctors, government? I mean, this is ridiculous. And then they deny me access completely. And they made that decision without me being in court. Everyone should have to have his day in court by law. I was denied that right. And when I filed an application to set aside that decision, because everyone needs to have his day in court, the same judge that I lay criminal charge against denied me that chance. I sue another judge before the Judicial Council, a Superior Court judge, and there was a conflict of interest. She refused to acknowledge the conflict, and she became a judge, and she judged against, when I sue the illegal business for operating a business without license and lying against me in court with evidence. She dismissed my case. I told her there is an ongoing matter between me and you, but she denied. I went to the Commissioner of Conflict of Interest, same thing happened. I would like to add one thing in here. Please, there is a lot of victims in Canada. I ask you to please say something just like I did in YouTube, and place it in YouTube. So if you have any clips of any of your stories, please put it up there so the whole world can see this. I'm appealing to the victims now. Please do something. We need justice here. When you put your stories in YouTube and the whole world see this will become more stronger. I hope mine is sufficient, but when a lot more cases, all you victims put your stories up there, since the TVs they don't want to report them anymore, please do this. Put it on YouTube. Place it. I know they may come up with something to block it, but God willing, our message will go through. I think I said a lot. I hope and I pray that someone up there, somebody, please. I expect billions of people to come to my help, to our help, but at least some kind of result I expect with this. And I hope to get reunited with my lovely daughter. If she's still alive, I hope and pray she is. Mariam, if you are out there and if you hear this is your daddy. This is your daddy. I love you very, very much. I hope, God willing, I'm going to hold you, hug you, and I hope to God that we get reunited again. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is it.